Hey guys, here I am with the ESM P-51D model. I got this one from the VQ Warbirds. We're getting ready to start a cockpit installation on this. Nice looking little P-51. It's been out a while. I'm just trying to get around to getting some of the other cockpits done. Very first thing I did was made a plug for the canopy, so I can make canopies that are nice and flexible, unlike the ones that come with the plane itself. They're a little bit more brittle. This would be a good replacement, especially if you're going to change the color or anything like that. Anyway, I've got it all got it out, sitting out here. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to get it, figure out where I'm going to put what I'm going to do for the cockpit. I'm going to get it taped off, see where we're going to cut it. It does have a pretty big cockpit area. We will have to remove some of the cockpit, the servo tray here would be easily moved on forward, and but I'm going to figure out where we're going to go, and I'll be back and show you where we're going to start cutting. Okay, I want to give you all a quick view. Here is the fuselage cockpit area ready for me to cut out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with I'll take some the 1/4 inch. It's a 3M tape. It's masking tape, the plastic stuff. Anyway, I'm making a 1/4 inch all the way around. I'm going to leave that as a lip, and you can see it's coming up here. I transitioned from 1/4 down to 0, and we're going to take this off all the way up around here and take that whole dash out. Anyway, I'm going to remove all of this. Like I said, just leave the 1/4 inch all the way around. If you buy this, it goes around corners really well. You can see back here, and it'll make it a lot easier for you to make that 1/4 inch very accurate. It's a good measuring tool. They also make this in I think 1/8 and maybe 3/16 also. Anyway, I've got that done. I'm gonna go ahead and get this cut out, and then we'll be back. Okay guys, I want to show you what I have done so far with the cut. I did not cut all the way back into the circle here because I looked at documentation. Different ones, it's hard to tell from the pictures I've found whether this went all the way back or was cut short. Most models I've seen, the plastics and others, were cut short here. So I come back 10 and 1/8 inches from the crease here, 10 and 1/8 inches, and drew a straight line, and I left this back here. It'll add a little bit of strength. It'll mostly be hidden anyway. Once I cut all this out, you do have two formers that come across here. It's actually working out pretty well. I've just relieved the former and removed the top part on both of these, and I just cut them to where they are almost straight down. This one actually angles back. You can see this member that comes back. I've almost angled it to where it actually comes into this one down here. This will allow our cockpit to go down in there, but also leave some strength to the sides here. Eventually, before we glue the cockpit in, you need to reinforce this with some more glue up on both sides. I would actually try to, this piece here could actually pop out, but if you wanted to, but I would leave it and go ahead and add some epoxy, sand that out and add some epoxy in there. Before I cut the servo tray, I want to show you this former actually came down. It connected across the top here and came in and locked in here. I have just cut that. There was no glue on it, so I just popped that piece out. You can see that it just fit right in there. It's just added strength. But anyway, what I'm going to do as far as the servo tray is I'm going to leave the two servo bays up front if I can. There's actually 5 across here. We're going to leave the front 2. So what I've done is from this back edge here, I've come in 2 3/4 inches, and I have cut this. I'm going to cut this out and then continue this line here on forward. This allows us to get the dash in and go in front of this servo bay, and allow us to go ahead and get the cockpit in and leave the rest of the servo bay here. So anyway, I'm going to get this front part cut out, and then we'll move along from there. Okay, I'm back, and I have all the molds made for the cockpit, and I'm going to go through showing you how to install it. One thing you can see right off the bat, I went ahead and had to clean out the rest of that servo tray. To get everything in and to get it up in the right place, to make it look right, you just have to do that. And if you're going to make this plane look good and put a cockpit in there that you can fit a pilot in, you're just going to have to go ahead and remove it. And it's so easy to put a servo tray back in. I mean, all you need is a piece of light ply and a couple stringers on it, and it makes you can put it anywhere underneath this. Anyway, you can see that I have removed the rest of the servo tray there. You can see that, hopefully you can see, I left that former that's in there, and I cut the servo tray just up to where it's squared off for the ends of the servos. You can still move a throttle servo up here. You can cut that out and lay it on the side, or just however you want to do it, and you can put the rest of the servos under the cockpit deck or the rear deck back here, and it would be very easy to do. One thing I would do after I got the cockpit, before I installed the cockpit permanently, I had to cut this on down to just under 3/8 of an inch wide, and I left this for the strength. They have glued it on the bottom, so there's a little bit of fairing on the bottom. What I would do is on the top, I would come in here before I glued the cockpit in, is go ahead and get you some nice hard 1/4 inch balsa, and just glue it along the top here and glue it from there to there, and that'll give that, I mean, you haven't lost much rigidity, but it'll add to it without adding a lot of weight. Just like I said, use some hard balsa. You can see I have cleaned out the this former here all the way down and just cut it across, so it's all cleaned out. Once you get all that done, I've left the blue tape here so you can see that's right at 3/16, right at a 1/4 inch wide. My cockpit, this is an early one. It fits right in place. It just comes up from the bottom and locks. I don't have my tape to hold it in place, but it just, you can see that it locks right in place. Very simple. The rear deck, that's all one piece. It just comes in here and you slide it in place and it locks down. All you got to do is glue these in once you got these everything painted. Then comes the radio compartment. This was the top. There was a large self-sealing gas tank in here, and the radio equipment went on top of it. So I've kind of reproduced it here because we didn't want to make this full depth. We wanted to leave those the ability to put a servo tray in there. Anyway, this is the top of the tank. Anyway, that just, after you get it painted, I'll paint it and show you how to do it. But this will be black with the interior green, the slats here interior green. That just glues down on top of there. I got some radio boxes. What we'll do is I'll clean these up and get the flashing off, show you how to do that. But they just glue right down on top of this. This is very easy to do. The dash, you can see here, it comes in and glues right up against where the stringer ends. It just slides from the rear. It just comes up and slides into place. And the dash just slides in there. You just have to glue it after it's painted. There's a pedestal. There's a pedestal. Now this is the whole cockpit uncut, and I'm going to show you in a minute. But there's a pedestal here that the chair sits on. All right, and I also have a headrest that's all one piece. What you have to do is I'm going to show you how to cut it out and make it. It's not, the back's not filled in, but I'm going to show you how to do that, and it will glue in place. So this cockpit, once you I try to make these things really easy to put in. I've got all my resin. I do have multiple resin pieces to put in there, so you got a nice big gun sight. Anyway, I'm going to get pull all this out, and then go over how to cut the main part of the cockpit out. And but just let me get everything together, and I'll be back.